Yeah, everyone's reading fantasy novels and fantasy romance novels. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's mainstream.
They're in on the fourth wing drama and controversies. Yes? No?
Yeah, you didn't see what she posted about Gallic and Gaelic? Like, you didn't see any of that? What are you talking about? This was on CNN. Like, what are you saying? This was
I
on
don't
the
get
news. Biden made a statement about
Yeah.
it,
I
obviously.
saw it. Yeah. So
Yeah, for sure. Guys, just need to like listen to the NPR Politics podcast or listen to us to find out this
yeah,
news.
listen to us. Subscribe to us.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name's Tanya. This is the Fangirl Feels podcast. We meet every week to talk about all the books, movies, TV shows that give us all the feels. And today I'm here with my co-host.
Olivia. My name is Olivia, the second half of Fangirl Feels.
Yay!
Yay.
We've been doing this podcast since February, March, I think.
March. The end, it was the finale of The Last of Us, which feels like a century ago now, to be honest. But
I know. I hate time.
yeah, and then you had a whole strike in between. So it feels like The Last of Us occurred, yeah, literally 10 years ago. But no, it was just earlier this year.
Bonkers. Yeah.
It was bonkers.
If you've been following us, we did take a pause because of the strikes, and so we're able to talk about like the TV shows and movies again. But yeah, we had a lot of content about shows and movies earlier on, and I noticed. So I asked like our followers for feedback. We only got like 2 people to respond. We're just constantly looking for feedback to like improve our podcast, and 2 people that responded said like, can you make content for things that I would like, that I know, some popular content, which we used to do before the strike, shows and stuff. And then also like less fantasy, which is fair. Like we started doing a lot of fantasy because that's like the type of books and shows that we like. So I think those kind of go hand in hand of like things that a lot of more people would be into.
Interesting. I just assume fantasy is like, I don't know, mainstream because that's the world I live in, but I guess it's not.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in those algorithms.
Same. That's my bubble too. I'm like, everyone loves dragons.
Yeah, everyone's reading fantasy novels and fantasy romance novels. Like, what?
Yeah.
That's mainstream.
They're in on the fourth wing drama and controversies. Yes? No?
Yeah, you didn't see what she posted about Gallic and Gaelic? Like, you didn't see any of that? What are you talking about? This was on CNN. Like, what are you saying? This was
I
on
don't
the
get it.
news. Biden made a statement about
Yeah.
it,
I
obviously.
saw it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, just need to like listen to the NPR Politics podcast or listen to us to find out this
Yeah.
news.
Listen to us. Subscribe to us.
Yes,
Um,
subscribe.
So we typically have like 2 segments called Fangirl Finds, things that we found in recently that we've been into that we don't want to make a whole episode about, and then fandom feedback where we talk about like feedback that we get from you all. And we're thinking of turning those into like just static posts, but instead we're going to do something new. We're still going to call it Fangirl Finds because it makes sense for what I'm about to say. But I think it'd be fun if we like found fun facts or like cultural moments or like random things that we've like obsessed over or like we recently found that was funny, could be a meme. So today we'll start that. So I actually wanted to tell you, since we can talk about Barbie now, I went down like a rabbit hole of like learning fun facts. I'm sure you've seen like the TikToks of them like practicing their dances and stuff. It's super fun.
Yes.
Have you seen them?
Yeah. I've seen a few, I think. I saw like Simu Liu post something, I think around that. Yeah.
Yeah. And he had to like wax his whole body.
Yes. He was incredibly bare, which makes sense because he's a Ken doll, but I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Him and Ryan Gosling. Just bold.
Looked like Ken's. Makes sense.
Yes. They did.
I've been super interested in like the business deals like behind the scenes of like, I think Greta Gerwig contacted Margot. No, Margot had already been involved in it, and then Greta Gerwig, I think. And so then they worked together to like work with Mattel to like talk about their ideas, and they had to like have meetings to like pitch meetings to like pitch them on these ideas because some of like the comedy kind of makes fun of Barbie and like their controversies and stuff. But I think it made the movie great. But one thing that I thought was funny was like interesting was learning about the budgets. So Barbie has like an iconic pink color, and they, from whatever company they used to find that pink color to paint like the set, they used up the entire world's supply of that paint from that company. So I can't even imagine. Like, can you imagine us on a project? We use like post-it notes a lot. Like, we just like use up all the world's post-its on like a project. I've never worked on a project at that scale, obviously. So I just can't even like fathom that.
Is that how is that? Yeah, how is that possible? Emptied the company's worldwide supply of bright pink paint. How is that? Did they just? I don't even know what to say.
Like, they could obviously
crazy.
make more, which I believe they did, but yeah, this the
Yeah.
company, the vice president of Roscoe mentioned that. I guess that's the company's like paint that they used, but still, yeah, I guess like during the pandemic, paint supply went down, and like, and on top of that, Barbie used that paint supply as well. So
Wow.
bonkers.
That is bonkers. That is nuts. That's a lot of. I mean, there was a lot of pink, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
I watched a video of their like the architectural digest video of them walking through the set, which was
Yes,
cool. Yeah, a lot of pink. That's where that paint went.
that's where that went. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
I love watching like the attention to detail. Like, did you see like the envelopes don't have real writing? It's like as if a kid wrote it, so it's like fake scribbles.
Yes, I saw that. It was just a work of art. Yeah, every piece of it was a work of art. And the fridge, a lot of it was just like the sticker inside to replicate kind of the same thing from a Barbie dream house. I love this. And when Barbie like leaves her house, she doesn't go outside. She like floats out because that's how you would carry her. Because yes, that is how we would leave our Barbie dream houses. Obviously.
Listen, Olivia, do you think we could pitch UX to these companies? Because that's UX. That's watching kids use stuff. That's ethnographic research, baby.
That
That's
is.
us.
That is us. But are you suggesting that we like figure out how to do that in our day-to-day lives? Like,
Or I mean, like if we pitch our services to Hollywood, like, hey, you saw how well Barbie did because they went and did all this research to study, and like it was probably from their own background, to be honest, of like using Barbies, and then they emulated that in the movie. We could research like who you're emulating in the movie, so we could be
I see
more
what you're
realistic. You know
I
what I
see what
mean?
you're saying.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
That I think there might be something there. We have to cut this out. That's a good idea.
No, don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone.
2024 top business goal.
I mean, I would love that. How cool would that be? We'd have to brainstorm offline. We will
Yeah.
brainstorm.
We'll tell you guys later. Or we won't. We won't tell
Or we
you.
won't. I think this is the third time we've done that where we've like said we have an idea, don't take it.
Olivia and I can't stop, okay? We will think of idea and then just like sprint towards it. We're like, yeah, great.
That's how you know we're like, not to toot our own horns, but there's like a CEO mentality where that's the case. And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, okay, I have a similar mentality sometimes. It's not good, but like it's a
Yeah.
thing where you're just like, idea.
Follow shiny things. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
So did you find anything that's been like intriguing to you over the past week?
Yes. So, I mean, I think as a part of this segment, I can just expect me to be like our resident Taylor Swift reporter. As long as the Eras tour is going, I can, take that responsibility. But this was actually the last show of the year. So Taylor Swift was in Sao Paulo, Brazil this past weekend over Thanksgiving. And she finished her 2023 leg of the tour on Sunday. And the real news was, so Swift Talk, Swifties on the TikTok, are what they call themselves clowns. And why they call themselves clowns is because they think that Taylor is hinting at anything at any point in time. And so they thought that Taylor was possibly going to announce Reputation, Taylor's version, on Sunday of this week, of the last show of the tour. Even though she just announced 1989, like early August 1989 just came out. I was not on TikTok enough this week because of Thanksgiving to like really pay attention. But when I came home like Sunday night or like Sunday morning, I was starting to see like people were like, Taylor's gonna announce Reputation tonight. I'm like, oh my God, she's gonna announce Reputation tonight. I guess she is. And they got me excited, even though I was like kind of skeptical. Long story short, she did not announce Reputation, even though the Empire State Building posted a post on Twitter where it was like, there will be no explanation. So they were like teasing it too. So people were like, oh my God, she's gonna post. No, she didn't say anything. So that is the Taylor Swift news. Don't trust the Swifties on TikTok. They are clowning out there, but it's fun. It's a good time.
It's clown talk now. What?
It's clown talk. Well, then they all post like videos of them like in a clown, like they'll use like a clown filter because they all got it wrong. And like they sometimes get it right, but they often get it wrong. So like they guessed 1989 announcement, but this was just too sudden. And I'm on the team of like, give it some time. We just got one re-release. I don't need another one right away. Like, slow it down.
Yeah,
Even though
let her
Reputation is
breathe.
let her breathe. Reputation's like my favorite album too. One of my favorites of hers. But I'm like, calm down, everyone. So now you know.
You gotta calm
Taylor Swift.
down.
You need to calm down. Yeah, and my cousins this weekend like made fun of me for being such a Swiftie. And I'm like, I am not the biggest Swiftie that's possible. Like, if you think I'm a big Swiftie, you don't know half of it. Like, you don't know the internet. But,
I think, yeah, you're a Swiftie, but I've seen like people who will dissect every waking moment of her life. And I don't think that's you.
No, it's really not. I am not seeking out any information that isn't presented to me on TikTok. And I don't know what she's doing every single day. Like
It's creepy a little bit. Like I know she's like kind of fueled it a little bit, but she's like, what? I'm sure she's like, guys, wait, that's too far. Hold on.
Yeah, I do think there's an element of like, we've talked about this in other episodes where there's a line, like the parasocial relationship is it's very unhealthy. And like, I don't think she wants to be known by her relationships. I think she wants to be known by her music, and that's fair. Her music is often about those relationships, but that doesn't give us the right to like speculate on her personal life. I think that's wrong.
Yeah. That's wrong, everyone.
Yeah. Enjoy the art. Enjoy the artistry and the humanity that she brings. But
yeah, there you go.
Let her live her life. She's on break now. Good for her.
She deserves it.
She does. I'm tired. I'm tired for her.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Like, I went to one show of hers and I was like, I would need another year to go back to this. Like, to be honest, I'm tired. Exhausting. That's Taylor Swift news.
The T on TNT.
Well, there is no Travis in this.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
On TS. We could do the T on TS.
On TS.
Yeah. Although I could tell you stuff about Travis Kelce, but I don't want to. Not interested.
Okay. Was it the tweets? Beyond the tweets?
Beyond the tweet. No, he like had an article in Vogue where he talked about their relationship, but it wasn't that interesting, to be honest. Like, he was just like, she's great. I don't know. It wasn't that interesting.
She's a good person. Next.
Yeah, and it was just like, she's really famous and she does a good job of being really famous, so I won't let it bother me either. Like, good. Okay. As he should. Like, if she's cool with it, then he should be too, if he wants to meet her.
Good man.
But yeah, I think so. I'm a fan. I feel like they're like mom of the situation. I'm like, good boy. Good for her.
Yeah, we approve. Yeah, good job.
He's a good boy. Even though he's 4 years older than me.
So now to the main segment of our episode. We're going to be talking about our 10 favorite fictional couples. So we had a lot more. We did forget some. Do you ever like think of like start making a list of things, or people ask you what your favorite thing is of like something like movies, and you're like, I've never watched a movie. That happens to us often when we're preparing for these.
I don't own the TV.
Yeah,
I don't
never
own
seen
any
a TV.
I've never seen don't have a screen. I've never used a screen. No.
What is movie theaters? Don't know.
I've never been to one.
And so we did struggle to think of things. We had to go back and like our Goodreads and whatnot and like things we've watched, but we made a list, narrowed it down to 10. These are not in like any specific order. They're just like how we thought of them. So Olivia, would you like to explain where we got this activity from?
Yes, this was inspired by the podcast Those Forking Fangirls, which you can imagine is very similar to our podcast. I am a fan of theirs. I listen to them all the time. The hosts are Christine Riccio and Natasha Polis. I've been following them for years. They are the booktubers that I originally started watching back in like 2015 maybe, and a lot of the books I read are because of their recommendations. So this was one of their episodes, so we want to give them credit for that, for their idea, and we love them, and go check them out, Those Forking Fangirls.
Yes, obviously give them a follow.
Yes, and they're funny. I like them, and check out their YouTube channels. They're pretty cool.
I'll have to do that.
Yeah.
So very first on the list is Harry and Hermione. And you wrote this, but I also agree. I know there's like fanfics of like other characters together. This was obviously like probably like a fan fiction centered story, but this one was my favorite because we just rewatched all the movies and I was like, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I know they're hinting at it a bit. I forget if they do that in the book, but I just never liked Harry with Ginny and then Hermione with Ron. I felt like that was too obvious, so I agreed with this.
I feel like Harry and Hermione would have been the quote more like the most obvious, but I felt like it also just made the most sense. Like Harry and Hermione had a good chemistry, a good relationship. I shipped them when I read the books when I was younger. And then I remember like getting to like book 4 or book 5 when they start hinting at her, like her and Ron. And I'm like, oh, I guess I'm supposed to like ship them. I guess that's the thing. I guess I'll change my mind. Like I'll just accept what the book gives me, especially at that age when I was reading it. But even now, J.K. Rowling, not that we love her opinion on anything, but now she's even like, I should have wrote Harry and Hermione. And it's like, yeah, you probably should have.
Are you serious?
Yeah, she said that.
I had no idea. Wow.
Yeah. So she even admits it, that like maybe it was a better bet. I think more people these days will say Hermione and Draco, but I am not on that camp. I understand it, but I'm not in that camp.
Yeah, he was literally racist, you know, like so.
He was. He called her like a mudblood, which was like a racial slur. Or
So we
like
don't support that. I'm sure in the fanfics, like he changes, but I haven't read them.
Me neither. I've seen the artwork. I've talked about one of the famous Harry or Hermione and Draco fanfics called Manacled, which is like based off of A Handmaid's Tale. But like even that's terrible. Like that's a bad premise for your relationship. That's awful.
I need to not look into that. Yeah, I'm good. No, thanks.
Like I unfortunately went down a rabbit hole looking at it and I was like, no.
Society, no.
No. Respectfully, no. With like a heart. Like no.
You have fun, but
yeah, not for me. But yeah, Harry, Hermione. Good ones. So this one's like very so the next one is Aragorn and Arwen. And Aragorn is like our resident favorite fictional man. Like, right? Like he's won our fictional boyfriend March Madness. He is like the best of the best. And Arwen is just beautiful and also badass, especially in the movies. So what's not to like here? They are the dream couple, and she gives up her immortality for him, and he's like respectful and a good man, just like A+. A+.
The best love story. Like to give up your immortality for a man, like that's a big deal.
That's a huge. This man, I mean, he's worth it. Like if there's any man that's worth it, it's Aragorn. Like for sure.
He's the only one.
That's
it. No one else.
No one else. Everyone else sucks. I would give up my immortality for Arwen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or sorry, Aragorn. Yeah.
Same. Both. Why not? Both. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. Same. Agreed.
Okay. So the next one is potentially controversial with what I'm going to say afterwards. But so Katara and Aang, I loved that they got together. It was obvious like that their love story made sense in the series, but I can understand everyone who supports the Zutara timeline. Okay, I get it. It would have never worked out logistically, but I support both love stories, both shippings.
Yeah, I can respect it. It's Katara and Zuko. Again, I kind of just take what's in front of me. I've said this many times, but I can respect it. I can respect it. But Katara and Zuko, or Katara and Aang, they're so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, even the voice actor of Zuko, Dante Bosco, I think was like team Zutara. I
Are
think
you
he got,
serious?
yeah, I think as he was like voicing it, he was like, yeah, I agree with this. But they definitely like did hint at it at times. Like there were moments where there was absolutely some like chemistry between them
Yeah.
that it was like they were toying with the idea of Katara and Zuko, but they were never going to go for it, I don't think.
When they were like both imprisoned in, was it Bossing Site? Like they were both like together. Yeah, they hinted at it like several times. But yeah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that moment especially, that was like the season finale, like season 2 finale. There was
Yeah.
definitely some like touchy moments. And you're
Yeah.
like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah.
This is a
What are
kid
you
show?
doing? Oh my god.
Oh my god, they're touching cans. Oh my god. But
Yeah,
they're cute.
very cute.
This next one I think is very specific to me, but is like my favorite kind of relationship pairing. And so I bundled these two together, which is Cress and Thorn from the Lunar Chronicles, also known as Flynn Rider and Rapunzel from Tangled. I love this dynamic of like the jaded guy who meets like a girl who still kind of has this un unknown optimism, and they both bring out the like best of each other. And I think that's just really cute, and they're adorable, and they're just my faves. They're probably some of my all-time I mean, they are on this list, some of my all-time favorite couples of all time. I love them.
Me too. I love them too.
And they're
It's
so
very,
cute.
yeah. Like they both it's not like the women need saving. No, it's more so that like the men just come into their lives and the women find who they are and like they become confident, and it's a great journey to see for both of them.
Yeah, it's like the guy realizes that like they would be like some fundamental flaw. Like Flynn Rider he didn't trust anyone and wanted to be alone. And like Rapunzel discovers like her own strength and her own worth. It's really cute. Yeah, they lead each other on these journeys together, which is like so nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
I
A plus.
really, yeah,
A
A plus to Disney and to Marissa Meyer.
Marissa Meyer, yeah.
And to Marissa Meyer. I keep thinking I'm saying Stephanie Meyer. I mix up their names.
I'm pretty sure I have before, so it's okay.
If you all watch our Twilight episode, I'm pretty sure we say Marissa Meyer. She's probably confused because she watches our podcast, probably. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
she's like, are they talking about me? Someone
Yeah.
else write Twilight? Did I write Twilight? Did I do?
Did I do
I don't know.
watch, they're related somehow.
Maybe. Possible.
Okay, next we have Kaz and Inej. And I think we both probably agree with what I'm about to say, but like, yes, I think they're cute in the books. But realistically, that dude needs therapy and she deserves better. So like I haven't read all of the books within those series. I've only read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, and you know, you can obviously like sense that there is like a budding romance and they have chemistry, but dude needs therapy and she deserves better. So that is my thought there. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. Like, I love them. I think they're adorable. But Kaz is not relationship ready by any means, and Inej is a perfect person.
She
Inej
literally is. Yeah.
can do no wrong. So Inej is like everyone we should all inspire to be her. So yeah, she needs to go find someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's great.
she is.
Who would we pair Inej with if we had to do like a fictional pairing of some sort, like with another fictional character?
Oh, there's like no one good enough for her, truly. Like,
Yes.
yeah. What man? What man?
The only person I could think of, what man?
What man? Aragorn?
Aragorn or Aang. That's like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like the only people, because they've gone through the process of finding themselves too. And so it's like men who are like, who have dealt with their
Fully
trauma,
healed.
essentially.
Yeah.
Healed.
Fully healed. That's true. Yeah, that's like that's it. That's all for her. Like she can't have any less than that. Yeah. I love Aang. I didn't say that enough when we mentioned him, but I love Aang. Aang is the best. Big fan.
Yeah.
He is healed. He's a good kid. Okay, this next one you have written down is Patroclus and Achilles. How do you say that? Patroclus?
Patroclus, which I'm not
Patroclus?
sure how like Greek people say it, but
Yeah.
yes, Patroclus and Achilles is the pairing that I love, and it's a book called Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. She also wrote Circe, which I haven't read, but I heard is very good. This writer, let me tell you, I cried at the end of this book. It is just like you can tell when a writer is good at writing. You know, we've talked about this on our podcast before. We like we're not editors by any means. When we read good works of writing and you feel something for about it, you know, the way she crafted their love story, you can tell it's just like a piece of art. And I love that book. I think it's such a good, like, you wouldn't think a love story, but yeah. Spoiler alert, they end up getting together. At first they started as friends, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've seen so much about this book. I haven't read it. It's like on my list, but I just haven't read it, but that seems sweet. That's nice.
I think you'd like it because you like period pieces, right? So I
I
think
do. I do like
yeah.
historical fiction, which this would be it. And I'm assuming some fantasy in it.
Yes,
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, it's Achilles.
right.
So,
Up
yeah.
your alley. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do need to read it. It's cute. Okay, next for me is Percy and Annabeth from the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. Now, this is a children's book. I mean, Harry Potter's also a children's book, but their relationship, Percy and Annabeth, is like the healthiest fictional relationship I've ever seen written, to be honest. The healthiest, like, especially for being young kids. Percy would literally do like anything for Annabeth, and Annabeth would do anything for Percy. They are just literally like, I think people on the internet call them like mom and dad, as they'll call anyone mom and dad, you know. But I'm like, yeah, I believe like these are the only two characters where I'm like, yeah, those are mom and dad because they are like in a healthy marriage, even though they are 18 years old, if that. Like they are children, but they are just like a solid, healthy couple. Good for them. Fictional goals.
Oh, I haven't gotten that far in those books, but I have seen so much about their pairing. When I was like Googling like popular fictional couples, they got brought up a lot.
Yeah, because they're just like a good couple. They're like Percy's like the perfect devoted man, and Annabeth is like just this intelligent, independent woman. Like it's just good. You know, they're just a great couple. Amazing.
Love to see it.
Love to see it. Yeah. Percy literally like fell into the depths of hell for Annabeth. Like, come on.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
I
my
need a man
God.
to do that for me.
Same. Me too. Just incredible. Amazing couple. No
Wow.
notes.
No notes.
No notes.
All right, number 8. And this is controversial. I'm sorry, everyone, in advance, but Padme and Luke Skywalker. Listen, I know it ended up being a toxic relationship. Actually, I think from the beginning it was because she's much older than him. And there's issues there. And then he ends up becoming the most evil person in all of the universe. So I'm so sorry, everyone. But I grew up on the prequels. And so, like, I watched those movies so much. You know what I mean? I was like 7 years old, 8 years old, watching this like budding romance, and they like had a cute love story. They had like wonderful moments on, I think, Naboo, and so I fell in love with them. But obviously it turns out to be toxic. But yeah, and Hayden Christensen isn't so bad to look at. Neither is Natalie Portman. It was just a great pairing, great chemistry.
Yeah, they are both beautiful people. I've yet to watch the prequels. I've watched the original trilogy of Star Wars, but I've never watched the prequels. And I
Girl,
think I said this. I've only just watched the trilogy. I mean, now it's been like maybe 9 years since I've watched it. I've not watched it since, but it was only like I was in college when I watched the original trilogy. So I was pretty old.
I can't believe we're friends. So
I know. I know. It's like my family's not Star Wars people. We're just not Star Wars people. So
all right. Well, you've got homework, so
I should watch it. You're right. I should.
it's a good Christmas watch, I think. You know, anything I feel like fantasy, I don't know why, is less feels like a good Christmas watch.
Anything like fantasy and kind of, not that this would be nostalgic for me, but like older. Anything kind of older is like a good Christmas watch because it is like nostalgic, even if I didn't watch it at that time.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, like cozy.
So get to getting.
Yeah. Okay, tonight. Don't hold me to that. I have no idea if I'll watch
I'll
that.
text you.
Are you watching it right now? No, I'm
Pop
not.
quiz. How's
Oh,
this
what's
working?
happening at exactly 52 minutes and 30 seconds into the first movie? Like, oh my god, I don't know. That will happen.
Unfriending. Yeah.
The podcast will just not resume after
Yeah.
that. You'll know why.
You all know. So
That will happen. Oh gosh. Okay, this last one for me is one that actually Tanya reminded me of. I totally forgot about this couple because again, when you try to make these lists, you just like forget of everything you've ever watched or read or even your name. But this is Agents of Shield, which was a Marvel TV show, the original Marvel TV show that unfortunately fell off of like the canon Marvel universe as the movies went on, but arguably was one of the best Marvel television shows. And this was the couple that I loved was Fitzsimmons, which was there's the combination of their two names. The characters were Leopold Fitz and Gemma Simmons. They were like childhood or like colleagues at Shield. They used to work at Shield. Semi spoiler there, but if you don't know, it's not really a spoiler. They used to work at Shield, and they were like friends and colleagues, and then it eventually turned into this romance that is super cute and funny because they are side characters in that show. They are not the main characters. There's this main character. Her name is Sky. Later, her name is Daisy, but regardless, her name is Sky. And she has a variety of relationships that tend to be the focus of the show. And these are like the side characters, but their relationship ended up becoming the like most prominent in the show. And in later seasons, they emphasized the Fitzsimmons relationship because people loved them. So they are also just like couple goals, very healthy, friends to lovers story, which is like adorable. I actually don't typically love friends to lovers, but they are great. They're adorable. And would recommend if you have never watched Agents of Shield because it is an underrated show, I think.
wow, that's big that's a big recommendation for you because you like enemies to lovers. So I'm gonna watch it now for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and it's so good. Like, so this show came out in like 2014, maybe, and it was originally because it was the first Marvel television property. And it was the first one to be like included in the Marvel Cinematic Universe originally. So before obviously Disney Plus and all that nonsense that came out. So you're watching the first season, and then I think like Captain America Civil War comes out, or like one of the Captain Americas comes out. And that movie directly then influenced like the second half of the season one of Agents of Shield. And it was like the first time that's ever happened where like a show was directly influenced by a movie midway through the season, and it was just a really cool thing to watch. And they don't do that as much anymore. I mean, now all the properties are connected, but it's so convoluted. But this was just like a really clear connection, and it was like the first time it happened, and it was just really, really fun to watch. So there is a twist in season one. I will not spoil it, but it's super, super fun.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll keep you updated when I get to it. Crazy.
Yeah, if you do watch it, it's probably on Disney Plus, I would imagine.
I would assume, right? Unless someone else owns it.
No, it'd have to be Disney Plus. Yeah.
We'll see. Hell yeah. All right, last one. And this is a deep cut, apparently, because no one has seen Lost, and I feel old, okay? I watched it from 6th grade to my senior year of high school, and now it's just gone from people's memories. It's gone from time. I hosted a New Year's Eve party last year, and I decorated each room based off like different shows that have time travel in them. It was like a time travel themed New Year's Eve party. I love a theme. I had a whole theme dedicated to Lost, and no one that I invited, my friends have never seen it. So, wow, amazing. But my favorite couple from Lost is Penny and Desmond. And if you Google this show or you've seen it, you'll understand not Penny's boat. And then the hand. It's just a cute. I can't give away too much because obviously everyone's gonna run to see it now. There's lots of spoilers, but they're just such a cute couple, and like they literally go through space and time to find each other. They're essentially separated, and they spend a lot of the show trying to get back to each other, and they just have like a sweet, beautiful romance that I loved. And he's handsome and she's beautiful, so obviously we root for people who are good looking. That's just how it is. And Yeah, and he has an accent, and so that's great. So 10 out of
he's
10.
British?
I think he's Australian.
Oh, even better. That
Yeah.
accent's great.
Yeah.
Accent.
He says, if you look up again, if anyone Googles, which everyone again will run to the internet to Google Lost, you'll see a lot of people say, "In another lifetime, brother." And he says that as like parting, like, I will see you another time. But like it means literally another lifetime because there's like time travel in the show. And so it's like, whoa, they thought really deep about this stuff. It's really cool.
I need to watch that show. We've talked about this. I stopped when Ian Somerhalder's character dies, which is like season 1.
It is.
It's like season 1, episode like 4.
It's
like
my
really early.
all-time favorite show. So I always recommend people watch it. It obviously goes off the rails. The risk and the writer strike affected it, but it's still, by that point you're like, oh, I'm already invested. So
Yeah. I remember watching clips. My cousins really liked it. I have this like distinct memory of when I was in Egypt one summer and my cousins had it on the TV. And I don't know why that stuck with me, but I just like have this like scene I just remember of Lost when they were watching it that summer. I don't know. So like it was an important TV show. Like it was a staple of our time.
it was, yeah, it really did. It was influenced a lot, I think.
It did. Yeah. A key show. On
Yeah.
the list of the 100 things I
The
will watch
long
one
list.
day. Well, thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Fangirl Feels podcast. You can find us. Please rate us and review us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening. That really helps us out. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I think that's it. I always want to make up another social media platform, but we're not on those yet. But please follow us, like our stuff. We post on there pretty frequently. And tell a friend about us if you think that we're funny, because I think we're funny. But maybe not.
We are funny, so please
I
share.
think so. I think we're funny. We're a small community, so we really appreciate everyone listening to us. It really does matter. And we like interacting with you. So please interact with us. Leave us any comment on any platform. Leave us a voice note. We would love that. Again, one day we'll get another one. But until then, we'll be back in your feed next Monday for another episode. So yeah, until then. Bye. Bye.